Good morning, students. On Thursday class, we had studied the verb chapter. I already explained you all what is a verb and its type. That the verb has few ways of categorize the verb. The main two types. There are two types of the verbs: main verb or principal verb, helping verb or auxiliary verb. What is main verb, which has a main role in the sentence? And what is verb? Verb is an action word. Whatever the work we are doing, that is verb. And that work which has the main place, the principal place in completing the sense to the sentence is main verb or principal verb. Auxiliary or helping verb is the verb which helps in completing the sentence, not has the main place, but it only helps, like is, am, are, was, were, etc. And after main verb and helping verb, we had studied finite and non-finite. I hadn't explained you all what is finite because before that we had focused on non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs had three types, and these are infinitives and gerund and participles. So first infinitive, 2 plus v1 structure is infinitive. 2 plus v1, it means the first form of the verb. And to go, to walk, to do, to rest, to dance, to visit, etc. These are the examples of infinitives. And gerund, when the present participle means v1 plus ing, when the present participle acts as the subject of the sentence, that is gerund. Means walking is a good exercise. Talking too much is bad for you. Walking, talking, these are the examples of present participle, but in this particular sentences acts as the subject of the sentence, so it is gerund. And now participles. There are two participles, past participle and present participle. Past participle is the third form of the verb. Present participle is the fourth form of the verb. Means past participle with the third form, like eaten, drunk, read, etc. That these are the examples of past participle. And present participle, walking, talking, laughing, dancing, singing, etc. are the examples of present participle. Now the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. As we know, the sentence has objects. Then the object decide whether the verb is transitive or non-transitive. A transitive verb is the verb which followed by an object. It means an object comes immediately to the verb, comes after immediately to the verb is transitive verb. It has an intransitive verb is the verb which hasn't any object. It has complement but hasn't any object. We often get confused between object and complements. Complements are the additional information to the sentence, like in the park, at the beach, into the river. These are complements, not the objects. Object is the thing which when it comes immediately after the verb, that verb is transitive, and when the verb is hasn't any object, that verb is intransitive. I played football. Here the verb is played and football is an object. So football comes immediately after played. So played is transitive. I played in the ground. I played, but what played isn't clear here. And in the ground is complement. So the sentence hasn't any object. So I played. In the second example, I played in the ground. Here the played is intransitive verb. So the transitive verb is also, we can say that a verb which can be transit, which can be transformed. And a transitive verb is a verb which requires an object to receive the action. I'm just giving few examples of transitive and intransitive verbs. Same verb when it acts as transitive and when it acts as intransitive. The peon rang the bell. In this sentence, the peon is subject, rang is verb, the bell is object. And the bell rang loudly. In this sentence, the bell, subject, rang verb, and loudly is an adverb. So, in the first sentence, the peon rang the bell. Here, the rang is transitive because the bell immediately followed by the immediately following the verb, that is rang. So, the peon rang the bell. In this sentence, rang is transitive, but the bell rang loudly. Here, no object after rang. So, it acts as intransitive. Now the second example, Ram speaks too loudly and Ram speaks the truth. Ram speaks. In both sentences, speaks is the verb. Too loudly is not any object. So Ram speaks too loudly. In the first case, speaks is intransitive, but Ram speaks the truth. The truth is the object for the speaks. So it is transitive. Now there are two types of object in a sentence, direct object and indirect object. Direct object always answers what? Ask a question from the verb. What? If it answers what, then it is direct object. If it answers whom, then it is indirect